Oh, whoa, begets... Oh, wait, the sound's muted. Oh, I think yeah, I'll mute it. Okay. Great, so the music does... This game is really being weird. Sound on. Anyway. I was dumb, and I saved over the save file because of an accident. Whoops, Snickers. Why isn't the sound coming back on? Doesn't matter. But then I remembered this game has save password things, and if this thing decides to be a buzzkill, gonna have to maybe restart it because this is so annoying. Anyway, we got the fonts. We've got a bracket for whatever reason. I wonder what kind of password system they use. Do they like go on the bit like, oh, you collected this, you collected this, and they use these as sort of a storage? I imagine there's many ways you can make passwords. You can scramble them up. You can be fancy. Also, there is no letter A for some reason in either. That's silly. That makes me giggle, but it does not make me sparkle, unfortunately. For today I am tired, and when I am tired, there is no time for sparkling. There is sound! Man, I remember back in the day, me sitting with a scrap of paper, hastily scrawling over the passwords, because, you know, that's how things went back in the day. You had to write down your passwords. These days, you got them brand new, super fancy whatchamacallits these days. Your iPhones, you're like, whoops! Yeah, that deadline is a little bit too close for comfort, but who cares? We're playing a video game, and after a long day filled with headaches because of sleep problems, God, fucking damn it. And I also happen to be stuck with the one project group that's like full of people that happen to wake up very early and be at school at 9. If I have to go there before 9:30, it's a bitch because of how traffic works. Oh no, we gotta tap the button as quickly as we can! We're not gonna make it though. Rayman isn't fast enough, just can't make it. Oh, I was thinking he wouldn't make it, but... Oh, this is the graphical thing. I never got this. This little tiny bobule on the ground, that thing mystified me, but I don't think it means anything at all. Yeah, we're actually faster than these ones, because, you know... Rayman's got the skill gemins. Oh, look, now there's 2. Oh, let's see what's happening. Oh, there's also... Ah, ain't that a stinker, ain't it? That's a stinker. That one gets in your shirt and then you're like, oh man, I need a shower. Because you're all sweaty because it's a stinker. You thought I meant something else that was stinky. Well, I don't talk about decaying corpses around here, now do we? We only talk about fresh corpses when they're not even affected by rigor mortis. Nobody likes rigor mortis. Parts that aren't supposed to be stiff get all stiff, like your bones. You want your bones to be nice and stiff. That's what they're for, after all. Now, if your bones aren't stiff, you've got problems. You need to see a doctor about that. However, if your bones aren't stiff, at least you can't break them. You know what they say, the bamboo breaks or the bamboo bends. I think I'd rather have a bent bone than a broken bone. Even though the bent bone is going to hurt me in the long run, because now I have an arm that's slightly crooked. Can you imagine a crooked arm? That's gonna suck. I think you wanna... I think touching the lava's a bad idea. I think I can draw that conclusion without too much, Oh, it's only we can't use our, Yeah. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from just running across most of the field and just taking that one at the end. But hey, who cares? We're playing this the MLG Pro legit way. Because, whoa, what the what do you want me to do? Oh, there's that guy. Hi, guy. I'm actually going to interrupt that mid-air and go for a backswing with it. How many do we have to collect? 80? 20? 25? 24? $1 going for... Wow, random wall that isn't even apparent. Great job, video game. Like I said, didn't play these bonus games all that much. They are not my forte. I don't even know what the hell forte means. I think it has to do something with fonts. It sounds like a word that has to do with fonts. Does it have anything to do with fonts? If it has something to do with fonts, just yell really loudly against an the computer screen, I will hear you. I've got telekinetic ears, which is like having telescopic ears, but better, because they're kinetic. Well, we messed up. I don't think there's any chance I can win this one. Too many mistakes, too many. Just too many. That one was the killer. Well, we had to go. Rayman gets hit in the head with a skull. Because that's how this game just works. Don't forget to get your brand new Kinect. It's filled with Kinect features. Can I have my extra money now? I said something nice about the Kinect, that it has features. Everyone likes a thing that has features. That's what they're for, after all. And if I say, hey, the Kinect has features, then I should get paid. That's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. At worst, it's neutral. It has many features. Whatever you want them or not, that's a negative one. That's an implicitly negative one. Because it's like, hey, maybe you don't want to buy this. And again, I'm not even partnered with any network, so I don't think the offer counts. Anyway, welcome to the Dark Forest, or the Arcane. Well, why would you call it Arcane? This place is filled with the cheap mechanics, and also really fancy-looking spikes. It's mostly filled with cheap mechanics, though. Cheap mechanic number 1, the music is very cool. Cheap mechanic number 2, the instant death spikes. That was awesome. That was so awesome. It was like, whoops! Yeah, that only exists to show you, hey, there's a little coffin over there. You might wanna help that dude out. I'm like, no. The game's like, yes, please help that guy out, please. Just be nice. This game pulls very little tricks. Like, it always makes sure that you know exactly where to go. Hey! That leaves one more cage for my shaky fist to bump up. Good job! At least we get to keep the cage, because this game is awesome like that. It's like, you know, you got the cage once, you don't have to get it again. Replaying a level to get a collectible you already got, that's just bullshit! Right, Nintendo?! You better fucking agree with me here, Nintendo, because you've been pulling that shenanigans for years. There are people that are like, oh wait, you gotta do... No! If I can beat a level that I've beaten the level, I don't want to play it again just because there's a collectible there, and I mean in its entirely. Getting up to that point is one thing, but having to finish the level again, that's just cruel. For no reason, mind you. It's like, hey, you gotta do it. Why would I have to beat it again? It's not the level that I failed, it's the collectible. What if the collectible's like right off the beaten path, like it's a tiny split? Now I have to play an entire level again, because they're so fucking lazy they didn't keep track of that. That's just unfair. Oh yeah, there's gonna be lots of those slides, by the way. They are a running gag in this world. Hey, by the way, the boss fight in this is very, very long. It is one of the most drawn-out boss fights I know. It's just so drawn-out, you don't want to know. You do want to know, because I just told you. Yeah, the boss fight has this really long phase, and they have to hit it a couple of times, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be a boss about this, and you're like, no! I'm gonna get angry, and then the game is like, ha! Get angry all you want, but you will never defeat Mr. Dark. He is the dark side of what we will never share. Now I'm like, no, but I wanted to know. Man, I already got the Project Shivers, and I've missed him. If I didn't have such a headache, I could enjoy it, but I have a headache, so I can't enjoy it. So I guess there's that. This game is a bad up-down camera, but at least it never feels unfair. For the most part, it never gets in the way, unlike Rayman Forever, where it gets in the way all the time. I can only assess that's where we started out, and here is where that part is. So I'm gonna wait for that clank, because the game just loves making clank sounds. Yeah, good idea. I would have died. Good job, Rayman. You're standing in the wrong direction. How did that happen? Who let that happen? I believe I pay a guy just to make sure that never happens. Pow! And there comes that beat. I still don't know what that beat is for, or where it's from. Maybe it accentuates the beat that you normally aren't supposed to notice exist. Better part about Rayman's fist in this game, the fist goes down much much sooner than it does in the Forever version, where it just goes in a straight line. I'm not gonna go for secret games, I don't care. If I remember, this is the last non-nonsense level. The last level, by the way, features a Dark Man. As in an anti-Rayman, and it's gonna suck so much. Why? Because Dark Rayman is Yoshi Eggs of Death. If you ever play Yoshi Island, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And those Yoshi's Island eggs were fanciful. They were really well programmed. I wish I knew how to do that. But I've never made a game ever. Not a proper game, at least. Take a gamble. Oldest trick in the book. It's not even the oldest trick in the book. It's like they only added it in Revision 10, but it's the thought that counts. I'm the kind of person that believes it's the thought that ultimately counts. I don't give a shit. I care about money, yes, but when I want a gift from someone personal, I want it to be a personal gift. It is, after all, the thought that counts. That, by the way, is a self-fulfilling prophecy. In case you're not up to speed about things. It's just, you know. Self-fulfilling prophecy is saying, well, interstate kids are just jackasses, and then treating them like absolute garbage and never giving them the chance to say anything. You're like, oh, you're just fucking trash, you schmuck. And he's like, but I want to be a no, you're trash. I don't care if you're the next Albert Einstein. You're fucking trash. Now go die. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy, as much as it gets. Also, don't ever just tell a kid to die. I assume we're talking about kids. You shouldn't do that. Never. If you do that, you're much worse of a human being than the guy who shoots another guy. Because you're actively ruining the life of someone who really doesn't deserve it at all. This jump's always a bit finicky because you're like, oh, there's probably a platform. Nope! But there has to be a nope! No platform, just go die. Here's a pitfall, enjoy it. It's a pit filled with doom! And then there's this... I like the final world of this game because it's actually well done. Oh, guess what? If you haven't figured this one out, you're screwed. Ain't that a stinker? Anyway, welcome to very accurate platforming, but because the movement mechanics of Rayman don't suck in this version, it's doable. This is easier. The final world of Rayman for the Game Boy Color is easier than World 1 for Rayman Forever. That just shows how awful that game is. When your World 1 is more difficult than the final world of a game, you're probably doing something wrong. Especially since Rayman Forever doesn't strike me as a Super Meat Boy-esque game. But hey, we never have to play this level again. Anyway, let's introduce some dumb mechanics. Oh yeah, reversed controls with the last level. I thought that Dark Rayman was going to be that. Ah, it's the English version again. Yeah, this is Anti-Man! And he follows you a short distance, and he looks... I don't know if he's racist or not, but he does have the power gauntlets. But don't forget touching him is... The game is mean like that. Anyway, next time I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, sorry, that was a spoiler. Sorry!